This large-scale research was performed in joint collaboration between my lab and the lab of my good friend and colleague Eran Siegel, also from the Weizmann Institute of Science. Each of the participants basically had to give us a week of his or her life. For example, Yotam, who was one of our 1,000 participants, was connected to a continuous glucose monitor that measured his blood sugar levels every 5 minutes for an entire week.
And then they downloaded a smartphone app to our phone. That was probably the thing that consumed most of my time. Everything that I ate, every physical activity, I had to document.
And you gave us a microbiome.
Oh, and yes, and I gave a microbiome sample. Do you want more details on that?
Each individual featured a large number of surprises. In my particular case, I discovered that I don't spike my sugar levels when I eat ice cream. In contrast, when I ate bread, my blood sugar levels spiked to the roof. So I really cut down on my bread. We found out that each person reacts uniquely and differently, even when they're given identical food. So even when we gave 1,000 people an identical piece of white bread, their blood sugar level responses were very unique. And this led us to take this personalized data and devise a machine learning algorithm which allows us to predict in a very accurate manner how each individual would react to each different food that that individual intends to eat. We found that the gut microbes, their composition and their function are very important in determining each person's individualized response to any given food.
The greatest thing for me, the thing that caused no response whatsoever, was chocolate. So that was great, although I didn't need Eran and Eran to tell me that I can eat as much chocolate as I want.
Lucky man. Andrew Holmes, you're familiar with this Israeli research. Might it mean that each of us needs a personalised diet, a very personalised diet, that general rules about food might not apply to everybody?
Yeah, so this was one of the most exciting things to come out in the last couple of years in the field, because as you just heard from them there, that they showed two things. One is that each person reacts differently in terms of their glycemic response, but what wasn't emphasised there was that each person also reacts predictably. So when they took the same person and measured them on a couple of different days, they got very much the same sort of response. So that straight away tells you that you can't predict someone's glycemic response just from what they eat. There are other things about their body system that's also dictating that. And the machine learning is a fancy sort of way of saying we get a machine to look at everything, work out a pattern, and then make a prediction. But that prediction is only going to be as good as the data set that you trained on. So this is where the excitement is coming for the future, I guess, that expanding the size of the training data sets and getting some mechanistic understanding of what exactly is driving that will get us to the point where we can, as you put it, personalise diets to get the target response for people.
Michael, what do you think? I mean,
I think it's really interesting. I mean, I interviewed the Israelis when I was writing my book, and I just thought it blew me away. Really, really interesting. And they are pushing it on now. As I said, they are testing pre-diabetics, diabetics, and the great thing is, with their particular algorithm, is they say they don't need to test you for all these foods. They can actually, based on your poo sample and a few other things, they can predict with a fair degree of accuracy how you will respond to a particular food without having to measure your blood sugar levels or things like that. So that's really interesting.